All right, guys. So on this episode of very silly responses to the Demar Hamlin tragedy incident that happened on the NFL football field just a few days ago, in which the Bills safety ended up going into cardiac arrest on the field after taking a direct hit to the chest. We got to talk about Joy Behar, who decided to use a moment where, everybody from across the political spectrum, and also race, sex, whatever, right? Everybody came together and prayed for this young man, and they're supporting this young man, and it really is a moment of unity in this country to show that as Americans we really do care about each other. Joy Behar decided to, stray away from that and to push more hate and division by basically taking a shot or ripping straight and conservative men for supporting tackle football. Take a look.
Right? I mean, my kid played football. He was recruited for college, and he got a terrible hamstring injury getting hit. And I saw him collapse to the ground. Thank you. And he went through physical therapy for 6 months. And he realized at that point, that could happen to my brain.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he quit. And
he did.
He quit. And it was a very hard thing for him because he loved doing it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to turn people away from the sport because, I went to Notre Dame. It's like faith, family, football. It's a big deal, and it's a $105 billion industry.
Yeah.
Only 45% of Americans think that tackle football is appropriate.
Wow.
Heterosexual men voted the most support for kids doing football, and conservatives were more likely to support youth tackle football. Just saying.
So I don't think it'll turn people away from consuming the sport because it is, as Sunny says, such a huge part of tradition.
In this country, yeah.
In this country. I grew up, football was just the norm.
Yeah, so y'all tell me. Maybe I'm missing something here, right? What does conservative or straight men have to do with this issue? Like, why even bring that up? Like, what's the point? She literally just brings that up as a way to just try to take a shot at straight men and conservative men for liking tackle football. I also don't know where she got that statistic that says that only 45% of Americans support tackle football. I think that tackle football, specifically, again, the NFL, college football, even high school football, really, I'm pretty sure it has become America's sport, right? I mean, it is the most popular sport in this country. I mean, you have towns that literally thrive. Their economies thrive off of high school football, okay? Specifically in the South. I find it hard to believe that only 45% of Americans support tackle football. I think that's a BS statistic. I think that's a BS poll. But again, it's just a shame that during a time like this where, again, you see people from all across the political spectrum, all across the sexuality spectrum, gender spectrum, whatever you want to call it, right? They all are in support of Demar Hamlin, and there is no real divide, right? There's no real issue. And that's one thing I picked up on immediately, right? I picked up on this immediately as soon as that happened. I was like, wow, literally everybody. Like, I mean, you talk about even conservative, like prominent conservative, opinion hosts or, commentators, political analysts, like everybody, like, gave their condolences, right? Everybody was concerned about it. And here we are, you have Joy Behar, who takes, again, a rare moment of unity in this country and just, takes a big fat dump on it, right? Big fat dump. You straight conservative man, you're responsible for all this. You still support tackle football. Well, I'm here to tell you something, Joy. I don't think tackle football is going away. I think that a lot of people are kind of overreacting to a lot of the stuff. When it comes to the dangers of football, yes, it's a dangerous sport. It's a dangerous game. But that's why it's the modern day gladiator game, right? It is much safer than what they used to do back in the day. I will say that, right? But, that's just what it is. Injuries like this will happen. And this is not even really a football specific injury. I mean, this is something that can happen, even if, you get punched in the chest, right? You in a street fight or whatever, like, this can happen in multiple ways. This honestly was just a freak accident, right? Like quite literally, this would not have happened had he not got hit in the chest at the exact right moment, right second in his heart rhythm cycle or whatever. That's my understanding of it, right? So this is not something that's happening all the time on the football field. Like, players aren't just, passing out or, collapsing on the football field, going into cardiac arrest because they got hit. That's not what's happening, right? There are other injuries that are much more common. This was like a 1 out of a trillion like thing, okay? That's what happened. And again, when stuff like this happens, it's sad. You got a whole bunch of women sitting at the table trying to blame conservative and straight men for it, and overreacting, basically, low-key trying to call to cancel football or to say that, football shouldn't exist or tackle football should be illegal or whatever. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I mean, the NFL, in my opinion, I'm not going to say the league is soft because obviously, I mean, there's still some pretty hard hits, but it's definitely not as, it's not as, I'm not going to say, I don't know if tough is the right word to use. Put it this way, they don't allow what they used to allow back in the day, right? It's not as gritty as it used to be back in the day, okay? And yes, some of that is a good thing because of the whole, concussion issue. I personally have a friend who I played football with in high school that got hospitalized due to repeated concussions, and it changed him, right? I mean, he became a whole different person because of that, and it is a very, very sad thing to see. It is real, right? CTE, these brain injuries are 100% real in football, but that's the risk that you take when you decide to play. When you decide to sign up and play this game, that's the risk that you take. You take the risk that, yeah, you could die on the field. And they tell you that on the first day, that, yeah, you could die on a football field, right? You got to understand that. And anybody who signs up to do that, hey, you got to take responsibility. You got to understand that can happen to you. It is what it is. All these NFL players are getting paid. These college athletes are now starting. They're starting to open the door to get paid. I mean, this is how it goes with this sport, right? There's no need to cancel it when people are accepting the risk. Everybody knows the risk. Everybody knows this can happen. And again, what happened to Demar Hamlin is extremely rare, but it can happen. However, the game must go on. People, are going to continue to play, and because of the payment, the riches, the awards, the fame associated with playing the game, people are going to continue to play the game, right? And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's a good thing. And I'm not trying to tear down the institution of football that particularly has benefited black men, right? And when people want to talk about closing the wealth gap and such and such and such, and black people getting opportunities, hey, there has not been a better black millionaire factory than the NFL, and I am not trying to tear down that institution. I'm really not. Okay, I'm not trying to destroy that institution. I think football is a great game. It's not for everybody. It's not for the faint of heart, but that's just the way it's supposed to be. And I think people got to accept that and stop overreacting just because, occasionally tragedies happen on the field. It's rare, extremely rare, but it happens. Can't overreact to it. Hey, you still got to keep playing the game, right? People are still going to continue to keep playing the game. But just understand that, yeah, there's a chance that, this could happen to you. But the good thing is it seems that, Damar Hamlin is making a speedy recovery. And, it seems like he's going to make it. We'll see. But again, the division and hate from Joy Behar here was just totally unnecessary. I don't know why she brought up straight and conservative men. I don't know what that has to do with anything. But again, this is just her, again, lashing out, right? Because she hates, men, straight men and conservative men who disagree with her politically. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.